Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and today is October the 22nd. If you need to reach me, feel free to do so at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. I'm looking forward to doing your spiritual principle a day in a meditation. I'm brought to you by Hope Through Navigation, and this is our Hood Recovery Services. Let's go ahead and get into this meditation. Literally, this is like my fourth take of this particular meditation. So let's get into it. I think I have to go out and come back in, guys. Let's try it one more time. Okay, I hope you can see that. All right. So October 22nd, finding humility in unity. We learn when it's important, rather, to stand for principles and when it's best to step aside in the name of unity, knowing that a loving God is ultimately in charge. That comes from Living Clean, Chapter 1, Why We Stay. We encounter different points of views in recovery and NA service. We may all be on the same path working toward a common goal, but we're ultimately in different places along that road. For example, some of us take years to get through the steps, while others take one step per month. Some groups vote and others make decisions by consensus. Guided by our mentors, we take up an approach that works. It's only natural to believe that we're going about things the right way. From there, it's a short leap to believing that ours is the only right way. And that's a slippery slope to self-righteousness. Accepting that members hold various perspectives and apply the tools of the program differently helps us understand the difference between unity and uniformity. There is, after all, more than one way to eat an apple. We learn to choose our battles and let go of our need to be right all the time. A wise sponsor once said, "Would you rather be right or would you rather be happy?" Knowing when to stand firm and when to bend is a sign of maturity in recovery. We learn to trust the process, and this takes away the burden of having to be right all the time. We come to rely on the God or good we find in A. So I reversed them, but that's okay. It has the same meaning. We come to rely on the good or God we find in A. We bring unity to our groups and our relationships by allowing others and ourselves to be wrong, steering clear of self-righteousness and holding firm to our beliefs. When I feel contrary and stubborn, I can take a deep breath, let go of self-righteousness, and step aside. In quiet surrender, I will seek humility and understanding in the name of unity. That's a powerful meditation. I thank God that I was able to finally get through it. I think that this spiritual principle, right? It's not just a concept, but although it is, it's a principle of humility in unity. So we're talking about the principle of unity, and we're talking about I want to say the concept of unity, but the principle of humility. Okay. Because sometimes we can think that we are operating well with the concept of unity, except for when someone challenges us. And when we feel challenged, it becomes clear to everyone. And sometimes we're the last to actually acknowledge it, although in the instance, in the situation internally, you should be able to be aware of the physiological signs that you are operating in pride and rather than humility. It makes you feel a certain way. Just like the Just for Today meditation, there's a thought there's a voice that comes with the disease of addiction. And when you're operating in self-will and you're unwilling to yield to others, there should be a physiological response in your body that tells you, like a warning signal, that, hey, you're not being humble at all. You're not practicing humility at all. This is more like pride. This is more like self-centeredness. And why is it again everything has to go your way? Why is it again that you're resistant to anyone giving you any feedback, anyone giving you any suggestions, anyone disagreeing with you in any kind of way? And internally, you should be able to sense that and then check that before you open your mouth again, right? Because it's important in the rooms of recovery that we realize that really no one takes ownership of this. No one, we all as members should take ownership of it collectively in unity. But in order to do that, it requires humility. And anytime you get one voice, anytime you get one voice that is the only voice for the group, we are running a very dangerous ground when just the one voice is the voice that directs the ship. That can be a problem. And it doesn't really relate to our spirit of unity, our first tradition, right? So our personal recovery depends on NA unity. And a lot of times people challenge that because they get so proud in their recovery that they forget how and what helped them to get it, which was coming to the program and staying clean and working with a sponsor and processing your steps. And granted, we're all at different stages. I know people that have nearly 20 years and have never done more than a third step. And they're doing quite well, but these are still individuals that, for the most part, they benefit from the foundation, but they're no longer really attached to the fellowship unless it's a special occasion, right? Don't let that be you. Don't be that person. But if you are and you're listening, I want to encourage you to reactivate your passion for recovery, and make sure that we see you. Be seen some of the time. I'm not saying you have to be seen all of the time. I know what meeting in person I do every Monday, and that's where people can fellowship with me. I'm not that big still on going out into larger groups, but that doesn't mean that I won't be, right? I know exactly where I'm at on that. I the truth don't need to be explained. That's my process. But I am still very much connected to the process of recovery. And I am in a meeting on the Zoom platform every day, if not 2-3 times a day. I make meetings every day. I talk to recovering individuals every day. And that's what 29 years in the game. So where are you? What are you doing that shows that you are unified, that you have unity with the fellowship of Narcotics Anonymous? Or have you separated yourself to the outer edges and no one even knows that you're still around the area? No one even knows. One, they probably know you're alive because they can read obituaries, but no one knows what's happened to you. No one knows how to reach you. No one knows where you're at. No one knows that you're still in the rooms, that you're still interested in recovery, that you consider yourself a member because you have a desire to stop use. No one knows that. To be a part of something and not a part is a duality that can be very dangerous. And what we're talking about today is that your voice is important. Your input is important. A lot of times groups end up with the one person being the GSR, the same one person is the treasurer, the same one person is the secretary, and they're holding on by the hair on their chinny chin chin, hoping that other members will step up to the plate and start taking on some of the group's responsibilities. Whole groups that used to have, tens of individuals. I would say like 30 or 40 individuals, and there's larger groups, but in our area, if you have a meeting that's around 30 people, that's pretty large. Whole meetings have folded because of NA members not being willing to step up to the plate. And here's my thing. If I'm a member, I don't want to say I'm a member because I'm a member of Narcotics Anonymous, but if there's a group that I personally am attending every time the group meets, and I don't have the willingness to do service work, I am doing that group an injustice. I don't see how you can show up to dinner at a table on a regular basis, breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day, feeding off of the same home group and not bring something to contribute to the dinner or to the meal, or even help prepare it. We're not talking about a lot. What we're talking about is the difference between focus on self and focus on others. We're talking about humility and unity. We're talking about you not always having to be the center of your focus, but others being able to be the center of your focus. Goodwill being able to be the center of your focus. God's will being able to be the center of your focus, and how you participate in that spiritual principle. It could be simple, something as simple as how you do service. Are you willing to listen to the voice of others and realize that there's various ways to get to the same result? There's various ways to have a beautiful event. And it doesn't always have to be the speakers that you personally want to choose. So we're coming away from the character defect of pride and fear and moving more into humility and faith. And we're doing that through humility and unity. My name is MightyStream. I hope you enjoyed this meditation. I hope that you are able to make a personal application of it in your own circumstance so that you can honestly say that I'm unified. I believe in unity with this program. And unified is not like the term that I really want to focus on, because it comes with uniformity. I'm not talking about that. I am really talking about the unity and being able to step out of the way and hear the voices of other people and the opinions of other people, and to contribute towards the greater whole. So what is not convenient for you to participate in an event on a certain day because it's too close to the time that you get off work? But if it was something that you wanted to do in the disease of addiction, hanging out with people after work, if you were still working, right, you would make it happen. So, okay, so you only have an hour window to be able to get to what you're trying to do. Is it still impossible for you to participate on a small, and this is a real experience for me, right? I'm talking from my own experience. Is it possible for you to make some time adjustment so you can at least show your face, show that you are a part of this? Is there a way that you can do that? And if so, do it. Just think, this is for me personally, I'm talking to myself, but if there's something that you know you need to step up a bit to show your unity with the fellowship, let's be focused on that today. I hope you have a beautiful weekend, a beautiful day. I'm going to. on purpose. And I need you to do the same thing. Have a beautiful day on purpose. Talk to you soon.